morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Let's Talk Fabulous show with Tamara. I'm your host, Tamara L. Hunter, and this is the show where we explore our fabulous lives. And today's show is all about the movies. Today we have a panel of movie maker fabulous subject matter experts. So let's talk. We have an international house today, and I am ever so pleased to introduce my friends. And you know what? I like calling them my friends because anybody that knows me knows that I'm a huge movie geek. I love the movies. And so am I ever so proud to be able to say I have friends that make movies. Yes, I am. However, it's not about me. It's about all of you and finding out how do you become a movie maker and what is a movie maker? And we're going to explore that. However, first I want to introduce our international panel. And I'm actually going to start with the gentleman that's to my left, a very good friend of mine. Dr. Roy, why don't you start?
Namaste from India.
Dr. Roy from India. Thank you. And Marneen?
Yes, Marneen Fields, and I'm an entertainment industry veteran of 45 years, making my directorial debut after being in front of the camera 45 years as an actress and a stunt woman and a singer.
Awesome. Next, Skip. Oh, we've got you on mute.
I had a dog barking here. I'm Skip Thomas. I am in the Ozark Mountains, filmmaker, and the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas. So that's right in the middle of the country. And
Awesome.
and here sitting in an old log cabin porch that I'm restoring. So I'm happy to be here and been excited to meet you all.
Awesome. John?
Hi, I'm John Duffy. I'm a film producer. I'm from unusually very wet Santa Monica, California right now.
Yeah, it's amazing what's going on there. And we round it out with Jaime.
Hi, I'm Jaime Gehly. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, and it's an honor to be here.
Awesome. Okay, we are going to get right to it. In fact, I love the way it worked out because Jaime is going to be the first one up. And I want to talk a little bit about Jaime and how it is that it's interesting how the road goes for people that want to tell a story. And just recently, he's like, okay, Tamara, you want to look at something? I'm like, absolutely. Let's look. And I actually met Jaime because of his work with a well-known rocker that has now passed, Gary Miller. And let's talk about that. Jaime, you were actually featured as a service hero, and in such a way that you and Gary became the very first service heroes. You're a rocker. And you guys were brought in to recognize because of Rock Against Trafficking. You came on as a service hero and you talked about a specific science project that was very interesting to you. And recently you said, hey, I've done something with that science project I'd like you to look at. And let's look at your guys. We have an international preview. This is never seen before trailer of his first documentary, an international premiere, and let's watch.
I'm Jaime Gehly. Welcome to Thoughts. Thoughts is a documentary intent on exploring the untold power of the human mind and the many ways it interacts with the world around us. In it, you will find a collaboration of experiments, theories, and ideas, each providing another piece to the puzzle. As we visit each subject, we begin to form a picture, and the further we go, the more this picture comes into focus. And the more we understand, the more we realize that there is so much more we have yet to learn. And as this picture comes into focus, we can now see that it's not the answer, but another question.
Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, so Jaime, you decided to create a documentary. Tell us about that.
So I never really set out to be a filmmaker. I have a background in music, and there's just certain like theories and ideas that have really resonated with me throughout my life, and I've just decided to compile them all together into this documentary and just see if people are interested in hearing about it. Some of these things are just ideas that you could form your own opinion about, and it kind of all comes together to tell a story at the end. And so each little part plays a role in the final message, and then it just kind of leaves you with some ideas that may better your life, may resonate with you, and if not, then oh well.
Okay, so another thing I want to point out, and then we're going to let some of the other filmmakers kind of step in. You decided to do this, and it was like, okay, what do I have? I have a camera. And you started filming this with a camera or with other... Tell us about that, right?
Well, so part of the purpose with this was I wanted to show people that they could have a voice, regardless of if they have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of film equipment and a production crew and all that. So I made the entire documentary on my iPhone. I spent less than $500 and just put it together in that sense, just to show people that if you want to get your message out, if you have something you want heard, you can do it, and it's accessible now with technology. So that was kind of.
I love it. Okay, who would like to piggyback on this or say something? Okay, John.
Well, Jaime, congratulations. It looks fantastic and definitely something that I want to watch. But also I, just would add or ask, doing what you did, making it for so little on your iPhone, at some point, if there's a way you could share that process with people, I think it would be helpful because, you can show people not only the end product, but the process that you went through to create it. I think that would be very valuable to people. So thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else that would like to say something right now? Skip.
This is congratulations. And what's so beautiful is the ability to tell a story. And he used the word resonate. You had law of attraction, a lot of frequency, and we resonate with an audience and with music and film and the power of it. But what's so fascinating, and back in the day, I had to shoot on 35 millimeter motion picture film and dollies and the expense of that. And one of my mentors was a guy named Orville Thomas, no relationship. But he worked in Hollywood. I gave him free space. I had a big studio in Central Arkansas. And I gave him a big, like 1,200, 1,500 square feet in the back. And he had moviolas and films and all this old technology. He worked in Hollywood in the silent movie days. And then sound and color. And he worked on Winterhawk and a lot of big films. And he was kind of like, I called him Yoda. And I go back and ask Yoda questions. And one day I was editing and he goes, and this relates to the iPhone. And what we all do as storytellers. But I told him I was sitting there editing. We got all this new digital equipment. He was looking at me and I go, my God, Orville, you have seen this industry change so much from silent movies and Hollywood and color and sound and all, and now with digital stuff. And he looked at me like he didn't know what I was saying. He goes, it hasn't changed at all. I went, are you on your medication? Because what do you mean you lived through it? He goes, no, it hasn't changed any. We're still telling a story with the illusion of motion pictures. He goes, if you're in the equipment business, you're in a different business than I am, but we're storytellers. And what he just talked about is the ability now is in everybody's pocket to tell a story, a compelling story. And we've all seen movies that are hundreds and billions of dollars or whatever you want to say in Hollywood, IMAX, and somebody can create something with a home camcorder or an iPhone and have a more compelling story. So I applaud your passion to do that. So good job.
Thank you. Okay, we have a couple of people on the street that wanted to say something about how they feel about movies. We're going to do that.
Movies have meant a variety of things to me over the years. As a young girl growing up, it was going to the movies with my family. As I got a little bit older, maybe it was a date night, dinner and a movie. As the years have gone by, and I've been so blessed to spend more time with my mom, especially in the last few years during the pandemic, movies have been yet another way for us as mother and daughter to bond and to connect. We choose movies that we both enjoy. So I am grateful to everybody out there in the movie industry, because the more seamless the movie is, the more work that's gone into it. So to all the actors and producers and directors and everybody in the movie industry, thank you so much for giving us and gifting us the joy of the movies.
All right, next up is we are going to go with Marneen, because I wanted to show that, because in the person on the street, Renee, she shares about her and her mother watching the movie. You have an amazing background. Anybody that doesn't know who Marneen Fields is, she's got 2 books coming out about her. There's movies about her. She was known as the drop fall girl or something like this, back in the 70s and 80s. If you ever saw a woman stunt person do a drop, it was most likely her on TV, on movies, the big stuff. That was her. She's been recognized on multiple different awards, all sorts of things. And what is fascinating to me is that you had a personal story that, basically a couple of them, but we're going to go into the mother-daughter one, that was going on through a lot of this, that a lot of times we have no idea the story behind someone living their lives. And you and your mother have such a story, and you decided to write about it. And in writing about it, you received awards, and now you're doing something about the writing, correct? Let's talk. And in fact, before we do that, let's show we're going to share your clip, and then we're going to go into it.
Why is it that when I walk down the road, people look at me like I'm crazy? Don't tell them. But I don't have my mind anymore. I knew he loved me too.
How'd you know?
Well, he never took his eyes off of me.
You have to come and get your mother immediately. She is mentally ill.
3 days at McDonald's doesn't cut it. All you do is sit at home smoking cigarettes, reading the dictionary.
I'm trying real hard to get work. Marie got fired.
She's not here, and I dropped her off on the Ventura Freeway a few days ago.
There's no light up ahead. It'll be dark soon.
Look alive, Mom!
My son!
You dirty little bitch!
Wow. Now let's, congratulations on the trailer, and let's talk. Your movie is still in production, correct? You're still filming, and this was from some of the film that you've already captured, but you're still in the development stage of your movie, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We're in production. We're filming. First, I want to say I missed that first part. I'm in Los Angeles, so I thought I was supposed to, talk about myself a little. Um, what happened is I've been writing screenplays and studying script writing from all of the big places since the 80s, UCLA, and I've worked with Dave Trotlier. He's had 9 screenplay books, and I mean everywhere, AFI, and also editing and studying acting, and I'm very well known as an actress and a stunt actress and a stunt woman, one of the most famous stunt women in the 70s and 80s. But I wanted to act because I met Victor French, and I was discovered by Victor French and Michael Landon, and I had worked with Clint Eastwood, and Stanley Kramer cast me, and Irwin Allen. And so this is my Clint Eastwood and Irwin Allen moment. And I've directed a lot of theater. And my mom, one day, she had an operation on her stomach, and yeah, that's her, my beautiful mother. Look at her, she's gorgeous. And they removed this tumor, this giant tumor from her stomach, and they pumped her heart to bring her back to life. And from that day, she started to lose her mind. And as you saw in the first scene, and I star in there she is. That's after she was found and brought home to safety. She was missing for 9 years, and I sat down with her and wrote her story. And she was there. She had lost her mind completely. Didn't know I was her daughter, and she dictated what she wanted in the story. And so those scenes about nobody letting her stay with them was what contributed to the homelessness and the schizophrenia, Alzheimer, dementia, and then this massive brain lymphoma. So as the film goes on, you see me grow this thing on my head, this giant elephant man tumor that when she was found, I found her with. And the screenplay has won or been nominated for 9 Best Screenplay awards. It's been 20 years in the making. I'm just thrilled, and it's so exciting. And I have a cast of 150 actors and extras, and we're fundraising now. We've shot 9 episodes, and I want Clint Eastwood proud of me because I've worked my life for this.
So exciting. Anybody like to say anything from our panel? First of all, I'd like to just say I have been following her for ever since she announced that she was starting to do this. And I'm so thrilled to have you on, a woman filmmaker. Let's just say it, that we need more of us, more women out there, in a variety of different aspects. So thank you for being a great example. And it's your production company. You wrote it, and you actually are starring in the major role. So there's a lot of different pieces, and that's not an uncommon thing, right? Many movie makers, when you're trying to make it happen, oftentimes you wear more than one hat, right?
I didn't expect to star in it. I have pitched it. Dustin Hoffman's ex-manager, Jessica Simpson, Papa Joe, Michelle Lee, Pamela Sue Martin, Jamie Lee Curtis, Shirley Jones, some of these women that I met through the years and everybody wrote all these letters saying how fabulous it was, and that they couldn't fit it in right now. So I kept submitting it to win contests and submitting it. And in March, I did a film. I was cast as a warden in a woman's prison, and I watched this filmmaker doing the film himself. And you know what? I always loved that. I always loved seeing screenplay by, directed by, and and the thing is that I really have the knowledge and the talent and the years of experience, and everyone is just so impressed with. So I was supposed to do it, and I see the doors opening, and I'm the best one to play my mom. I knew better than anyone.
Well, congratulations on this. I want to, well done, excited, and let's go on. We are going to have our next movie that we're going to be highlighting, and we are going to be going with our international guest, Dr. Roy, and you are a co-producer with this film. Let's share it. And this is our international offering that is in current release, and I've been watching it ever since it went into release, and I was just fascinated by it. So I said, okay, I know you had something to do with it. So he said, yes, I did. So he sent it over. I love, love, love the little clip, and I know you all will too.
ये कब तक चलेगा? अपने आप से भागना।
हाय दोस्त, आज से हम दोस्त हैं। हम तो उसका बहुत लंबा है, पर मैं उसे दोस्त बुलाती हूँ।
ये कछुए की तरह लंबी सांस लो, तो जिंदगी भी लंबी होती है।
जिंदगी के मायने बदल गए तुम्हारे लिए?
रुत भीगे तन धराई थी।
I'm proud of my thoughts.
मोंदे वापस हो जाएगी।
मौत को भी उतनी ही डिग्निटी के साथ देखना चाहिए जैसे हम जिंदगी को देखते हैं।
जब से गया तू बरसे है नैना।
So welcome, Dr. Roy from India. And okay, so I've been giving a little bit of a background on how I know everybody. Dr. Roy, actually, it's a very interesting story. He had a huge international committee and award that was given out after the first round of COVID, where he was recognizing the doctors and scientists and government officials that had stepped up to the plate to make a difference when COVID was taking place the very first time. And he called it the Sir Tom Moore Award, recognizing COVID heroes. And only a couple people in the United States were recognized. And my name was put out there, and I got to be vetted by him and then run the award with all these others. Many of you out there won it with me because it was all of our action together. This man has ran in his areas of the world. He's been in charge of running big, huge missions for the Red Cross. He is an actual medical doctor, yet he is also a well-known artist and humanitarian. And he got involved in the movies. And so I'm and you're a co-producer. So let's talk about that. What about this project got your interest to lend, here you have this huge background in who you are, and you decided to become a co-producer of this project, and you're thinking this is kind of fun now, right? So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I thank you very much, the fab Tamara Hunter, for inviting me to E360 Degree Television Channel once again. And hi, all of you who are part of the fraternity that today we are talking about. It so happened that since COVID hit us, and me, Tamara, thousands and thousands of our friends all across the world, we were talking online that what will happen to life. And we all were trying to find out ways and means to remain alive with just not physically, but mentally too. And this particular film, life is good, we tried to rework. We started long time back on this film. The film started 2015, and that's when we registered the film. And India, you all know that it's a large democracy and it has a huge filmmaking, film loving, critical, and dedicated film buffs, film lovers all across the country. And recently, in the international level, people started recognizing the Indian talents on films. But going more deep into how uh, we came in with this particular film, Life is Good, because to a great number of our friends all across the world, trillions, millions, and millions of them, who started feeling that life is losing its meaning. Many of us, we tried to actually thought that let us end this journey by ourselves, then uh, hit badly by a disease. This film, we changed some of its content. We added some of new frequency to the dimension of this film, and we brought more meaning to tell this world that no, this life is one we got, and this life is good. And that's how this film tries to tell the generation, three generation of people that look at your life. This life is going to give you much more than what you expect. Give back more to life. Life will give you more good. And that's how this is Life is Good 1. It will be a series actually. We are already on Life is Good 2. In fact, while in this film, Life is Good 1, we have ended with welcoming a newborn generation, a newborn baby into the world while the mother uh, dies delivering the baby. And we are working on Life is Good 2, where we will show this world that how this baby grows back to her life with her positivity. And that's how we try to push an energy to the spirit. And the rest, you all need to see it. It is going to be available very soon in OTT platforms. And we will be talking more. Maybe again, another opportunity with Tamara, where we will be talking about Life is Good too. And I was watching my friend who has utilized iPhone for filming. I'm telling you, our very close dear friend in India has made a 2 hours full-fledged feature film, which has very dearly supported by Netflix, and it's on already, uh, which was totally shot on iPhone 14 Pro Max. And I'm sure that things are uh, becoming more handy to create, to bring our emotions out. And what more it can be than a movie to tell that life is good.
I love it. I love it. So well said. And you've taken us through so many of the elements of what it is to be a co-producer of a movie, what you have to think about, what is the role in it. You explained it so beautifully, like you always do, Dr. Roy. Thank you so much for being here and supporting all of us in so many different ways. Can't even say how much I personally appreciate you. We are going to hear from another person on the street, and then we're going to go into our next filmmaker's offering.
Hi, my name's Kim from Southern California, and movies are important to me because of really how they can help uplift my mood. I love it. If I am wanting to just chill out and relax, I can watch a movie that can help really uplift my vibe. And also, like, when I'm not feeling so great and I watch a movie that has a way to help me feel seen and know that I'm not alone in whatever I'm dealing with, those movies just amaze me, especially when I'm watching something and I think that it has no relation to what I'm currently experiencing, and then inevitably it does. It shows me that, oh my gosh, there's a mirroring effect. And so I really feel like movies over the last several years have become more realistic, but also that the filmmakers are quite intuitive, and it's incredibly impressive. And I am grateful for it, that people are putting all that work into creating these experiences for us that allow us to both simply feel better, but also, even gain greater clarity in our life. So absolutely, I love movies. They're fantastic.
All right, we are going to go with our next filmmaker, and we are going to go with our Emmy Award-winning documentary filmmaker, and yes, my co-host for the Tour of Love show, Skip Thomas. And there we go. Yep, I've got my mug too, guys. Shameful plug, shameless plug. We've got the next season 2 coming in spring. Be watching for details. However, you are a filmmaker, and I met you because you were looking to create a nonprofit that would help to tell stories in film. Let's tell the story or show your clip of the film that we are going to be featuring today. And it's one that has been on Gaia TV like forever, and I believe is now available on Amazon Prime. It's all over the place. Here it is, Sacred Journey of the Heart.
The new frontier of human evolution is one that connects us in a deep and meaningful way.
What were our ancestors trying to tell us? What did they know that we've forgotten?
The children on the planet are asking us to wake up.
What is the greatest expression of myself that I can be today?
Your heart stopped for a second.
Journey much deeper into my heart than I ever wanted to go.
Growing up, I was like every child, but my path took me in a little bit different direction.
You can't heal what you don't feel.
To lift the spirit above depression, to melt the ice in the heart.
You have to get to people's fears. Why is the heart closed?
That's created the greatest gift of all, this balance between giving and receiving love.
The heart has access to a field of information that is not bound by time and space.
No other organ has the power to communicate with the essence of the stuff that holds this universe together.
This is where conventional forgiveness does not go, and the mind can't handle it.
I learned to love my past, and in doing that, create a new present.
I see a new day. I see a land without illusions.
So the spiritual traditions then tell us how to apply what the science is confirming.
We are deeply and profoundly interconnected with the earth, from life to death.
We really do know each other's hearts. There's no limit to who we are and what we can do.
You feel, acknowledge what you feel, and you bring it back to the heart to gain the wisdom from that. We're on this planet at this time to make a difference, and we've said yes.
The bottom line is the heart's where the action is.
We've only begun. Today is the beginning of forever.
Fabulous. Okay, so you now, many of us know the story that follow, myself and what we have been doing together, but there's many that don't know the story. You actually did a lot of the filming. That, of course, is you there. You actually had to go on camera, and you did a lot of the cutting and the editing, though you took the director's credit. And so you traveled all over the world. And in the middle of this, okay, this is a filmmakers panel. In the middle of you starting this process and working with the producer and the writer and everything, you end up getting a diagnosis and filming stops, right?
Yep. We were probably 2/3 of the way through. We were filming we were doing some rough editing, and I got a cancer diagnosis, and my prognosis was not good. This was over 10 years ago. And so I went to the producers and basically told them the situation. And I said, you need to find another director, because I was also doing the hands-on editing, and we had a team of people, but I'm kind of a script to screen guy. I like to write, shoot, edit. I produce music. I love all aspects of it, but I have people a lot better than me that come in and make me look good. So I said, and what happened was, I went through some surgeries and treatment, and the producers did bring in another director for about a month or two. And they came to me, actually it was just about 3 or 4 weeks, and they said, no, we're going to wait for you because you're going to make it. So I did make it through all that. And it changed because during that time, the producers went through radical forgiveness down in Atlanta. And they went through a process of their own spiritual journey, their own connection to the heart. So the beginning of what we set course on for that film was totally different because of the interruption that happened about 2/3 through. And it became a spiritual journey for all of us, of that coherence, that connecting of the heart and the brain, and really why we're here. But it was, there's certain things in our life that we tell a story, and certain events inspire us to tell stories with each one I've heard. And then we get to a point where what can we share with humanity in this time we're in to tell stories that give them hopefully some inspiration to take steps.
Thank you. And does anybody want to piggyback off of or have any questions for Skip here in the panel? Many of our regulars are like, woohoo, Skip's here, and yay, and everything, like, okay, yes, tour of love, humor, hope, heart hugs, a whole lot of love, because you are now out there and you are helping to, if you will, push love because of the experience that you had filming this film, correct?
Absolutely. And so much in our vibration, we talk frequency, some of y'all did, but we move, we're in the world of fear and lots of reasons to be scared, guilty, angry, whatever. But when you start to step up in that frequency of love and gratitude and joy and bliss, and then that resonates, as Jaime said earlier, that word resonates with others, and it starts to attract, the law of attraction, that which is likened to itself attracts. So what happens is we start to tell stories that resonate with other people, and they go out and tell stories that resonate. And for me personally, I don't think there's any greater reason to be on this planet at this time and have the gifts that we all have and share together of storytellers to be able to be gifted to do that for humanity. So I applaud everybody in the work you're doing, because it ain't easy. It looks easy. They see it on a screen. They go, oh, yeah, but they have no idea what goes into it.
Well, thank you. And So now we are going to go to our next movie maker. And yes, I did bring a shameless or shameful or whatever you want to say, a major huge plug, because when I saw my dear friend John Duffy and he made the announcement that he was filming the latest and greatest film in regards to a series of books. If you don't know the series of books, let me just tell you, whatever your belief system is, you still want to read these books. These books are some of the best. It's a whole long series, a whole bunch of them. And yes, I've read them twice, every one of them, because they're very well written. The story matter is incredible. And the storyline, depending on, again, where your belief system is one that's going to grip you. And so what we are going to do right now is we're bringing our John Duffy up, and we're going to share his clip, and then we're going to go into talking about it next. Let's go to it right now. We've got it. There it is.
Millions of people were just going to disappear. I, like you, would have said they were crazy.
Was it the rapture?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Are you sure? I mean, are you really sure?
I saw it happen.
Those weren't vanishings.
It wasn't the rapture. The rapture was debunked on the first day.
The second wave of vanishings has thrown the financial markets back into chaos.
Trust me. You want to make sure you're on the right team.
You're already teaching them the art of fake news?
I just wish I could see you one more time. Why are you still here?
Because I asked God to leave me behind.
We don't need to look for magic. They're not a bunch of religious wackos.
Wackos like my mom.
Fortunately, we have a solution. We can implement Eden Pay worldwide in a matter of weeks. Welcome to the future.
I got to look inside the Eden Pay platform, and it's a whole lot more than a glorified bank card.
So you're just admitting to being crazy?
Yes, I'm quite comfortable with that. When it is all over, half the world will be dead.
This is the biggest news story since the vanishing.
You listen to me. You drag this line of non-Tintin to the public eye. We're both finished.
Now I'm more like an actor.
The Antichrist will declare himself as God. Seemed like a stretch even for them.
How do we know who we can trust?
Trust God.
The world is suffering. We are on the brink of mass insanity.
What happens to the rest of us?
Doesn't it seem strange that it's still so easy to dismiss it, even though we saw it with our own eyes?
Well done. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, and I even have my ticket because I went to one of the Fathom events, which I was fascinated with that. I actually, what a great idea, Fathom events. I went to one near me on the first weekend that it came out, and I've seen it. It's an amazing, amazing movie, and I've seen all of the movies that have been made from the books. This one, absolutely, you nailed it. Now, you got involved in this project. How?
Well, I was invited by the director, lead actor, Kevin Sorbo. It's the second movie that I work with him. He's a dear friend and a talented director and actor. We did another true story called Miracle in East Texas up in Calgary, Canada. And this was the second one up in Calgary. So he invited me and my producing partner, James, up. And we basically went up there. And the two producers who actually made this really happen, as far as story, Paul Lalonde, he wrote it and produced it, and his partner Michael Walker put together all the financing, and we came up as American producers to do a lot of the hands-on stuff and to support Kevin on the journey of making the movie. And just watching it just sent shivers back up my body watching it again. But it was a great experience making the movie, and it just made some incredible friends up in Canada. It's like I said, it's the second time we did it up in Calgary. So we went on a journey, and it was a fantastic journey. And then, even better was we got to watch it at Fathom events with Kevin in Burbank, and some of the actors, the two of the main actors in the movie, and my producing partner, James Quattrochi. We all got to watch it together last month. And that was a great experience, just, seeing the culmination of everybody's work to produce this. So, just feeling grateful and blessed that I was given that opportunity to be part of that team.
And it looks like you guys had a lot of fun too. I mean, when you were up there, in fact, I think, wasn't it around your birthday or something that you were actually filming? And that's when I think I first found out. I'm like, oh, are you really there? And you're like, yeah, for my birthday, I'm doing this. And I'm like, oh, yay.
Well, yes, it was for my birthday. I celebrated that. Well, they celebrated my birthday for me, which was fabulous. It was during COVID. We were up there. But one of the things we try to do, my partner and myself, James and me, is that not only do we produce movies, but we want to have a great time. We want to honor the crew and just enjoy the making of the process. So, sometimes I play multiple roles, including a social coordinator. So I took the cast and the crew out ice skating, playing basketball, bowling. So every night we were like not only making a great movie, we were having fun and just hanging out with each other and celebrating each other. And so that therefore the next time we want to do it again. So that's the other part of it, is just enjoying the process and enjoying the people and just having a great time. And I'm just, once again, lucky to do it.
And you started out as an actor back in because many of you have been in one way or another in some type of a role that has been revolving around the movies. Not all of you, but many. I mean, Jaime, of course, with music, and then Dr. Roy more on the humanitarian and doctor side of things. However, with you started in the movies, and you've got some great, headshots from back in the day, revisiting some of that. And then
right behind me.
There you go. And then you've ran different projects in different roles. You've been a director before, right? And then you've done production, and what about the production piece is, if for anybody that is right now saying, wow, I am so inspired, I can maybe even do a movie with my iPhone, I can maybe tell a story with whatever it may be. You've been there, you've done it, and now you've done it on a very large scale. People will recognize, I'm sure, many of the actors that were in the clip that we just shared. We're talking a major book that has been translated in just about probably every language out there, selling an unbelievable amount of copies. Many people, if not everybody in the world, knows this story, at least by name. Here, you're involved in this project. What would you tell people? Like, okay, now you've made it. You've been through decades of getting to this point. What would you say to those that are watching now and saying, okay, I'm ready to sign up? Where do I start?
Well, everybody starts at a different place, I think. Like you mentioned, I was acting at one point, and I say I've lived 7 lifetimes, and I hopefully have 2 more at least in me. But acting was my 6th lifetime before I started producing, which was my 7th lifetime. But like Jaime, you start with a dream, you start with an idea, you start with a story. And I always tell people when I speak, when I train, when I mentor, that the key thing is mindset. So when it comes down to it, you got to have the mindset. And with that mindset, anything is possible. When somebody when they tell me it's impossible, I say, okay, it might be impossible for you, but it's possible for me. So it's always trying to find that solution, find that way, and not by yourself, but with a team of people. I don't have all the answers. I'm not the smartest person in the world that knows everything, but the people around me can help complement me and help me find the answers together as a team. So I just got to put out my energy to go find a solution, and the team will help me find that solution together. So whatever you have, whatever dream you have, I would just say, find a way to go for it. Take action, never give up, and believe that you can do it. And if you take the action and keep learning, you will do it. You'll make it happen. And that's the way I did it throughout my life. And I continue to keep doing it because, as long as I have an opportunity, I'm going to keep doing more as every day that I can. So I think that sums it up. I think.
Beautifully. Okay, I have to ask because I'm really curious. There's a lot of books in this series. Are you guys going to, I know that Dr. Roy already let us know that there's going to be a second movie for Life is Good. Are there any new offerings that you guys are going to continue in this book series?
I don't know for sure. I think the answer is yes. The producers who actually made it happen, the writer producer who made it happen, probably will want to continue the series because it has gotten a good response. And this particular version with Kevin Sorbo has been very powerful. People can get it on Amazon. They've sold, I think, 200,000 DVDs pre-sales. It's on it's going to be in Walmart. It's going to be all over the place. So, and then eventually it'll end up on streaming. So I would imagine that there's no reason why they would not continue, because there's so much to take advantage of sharing these stories and sharing them stronger. So yeah, I hope so. And if the opportunity arises for me, I would love to be part of it.
Awesome. Okay, it's on the record, guys. I hope you're watching. He wants to be a part of it again. I want him to be too. Okay, so if that has any kind of clout, let's make it happen. All right, we have a few minutes left. And what I want to do is, first of all, a little clip was shared with me by one of our show hosts on my network. And she said, you know, I did this special for your audience, and it is in honor of this month, Black History Month. And thank you, Barbara Buckley, for sharing this with us all. So thank you, Barbara, for that. And okay, we've got a few moments left, and I want to open it back up for any pearls of wisdom and advice that you would like to share. We just had John share some, but any of the other panelists, I'd love to hear from you, and you have a few moments to share. So go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, we've got Dr. Roy that's taking us up on it, and then we'll go from to the next one.
I will actually wanted to tell through this particular moment of your channel, Tamara, that this life is just given you one opportunity, and please make it good, the best. I was extremely spirited to hear from John that the seventh time life has given him an opportunity to make it a boom, a big one. We all should make it big. And Tamara, you give us that spirit back. Last about a couple of months before, I was watching the champion Tamara on the Fab Tamara coming up. That spirit I have seen in I must just mention the director of this film, Life is Good, Anant Narayan Mahadevan, who is at this moment in America telling another story of his another film in Houston, and my producer, friend, colleague, Anand Shukla, that together Life is Good 2 is going to come for you. We will love to open ourselves to adopt any other story on life. As Tamara was saying, that will you latch it on? We will love to. We will love to contribute and connect and make life good for all. Thank you. Thanks a ton.
Thank you. And so anybody, take him up on it. This man is an amazing person. Skip knows him, and many of us do. He is genuine from the heart. Who would like to be next? As we have 2 minutes, and so 30 seconds. Who has something to say? I'm just gonna put you into the mush pot. Next, we're gonna put Marneen.
Well, I think that when you look outside of yourself and see that what you can do on a universal scale. My mom's story, it can help millions of mentally ill who are homeless and their families. And that's my goal. I became her guardian when I saved her and brought her home. And my goal was to become a guardian to millions if I could become a guardian to one. And so, you know, I've actually come into my true moment of what I was supposed to be doing. So, someone
Thank
else.
you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So we've got Jamie. You're next.
All right. Well, John had asked me earlier about how I was able to put this project together on such a short budget. And part of the way that was able to be done is that I don't have a cast of like specific characters necessarily that have to tell certain dialogue. So there's services on the internet that are, one I use is called Envato, and they have like clips of anything you could think of, thousands of clips, pictures, movie clips, everything that are royalty free that you can pull from. And so if you just need to illustrate certain points of your story, you can download these clips and you can put them into the order that you need, and then you can put your own dialogue over it, and it makes it a lot easier to get your point across without having to pay for a production crew and all those sorts of things. So that was probably the biggest way I was able to accomplish that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. And thank you for letting us premiere it today on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Skip, I'm going to let you like round it out.
Well, everything we saw, all the films came from people's spirit, their hearts, to resonate with an audience. And I just want to say, with this time in the world, I think the audiences are resonating back to us as to being hungry for this. And so keep doing great work. And I applaud you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, we are now going to be out. I want to let everybody know to be watching for next week's show, because it is a healing show. It's about healing humanity, and we've got some amazing healers and stories that are truly healing miracles that will be shared. So be aware. And with that, until next week, we are out.